Hello everyone, welcome to our video tutorial this week. I want to thank you always for liking our videos. Thank you for always commenting on our videos, and we want to thank you for sharing our videos with those who are in need of these videos all around you. Thank you also for subscribing to our YouTube channel. And we want to also thank you for following our series on lighting, since we have started this very series on lighting. And today will not be an exception. We are also going to talk about a particular thing in lighting today. And today we are going to talk about lighting and ISO. Lighting and ISO. All of us, we know that in camera, there is something in camera you call ISO. You can also call it gain. You can as well call it ASA in some cameras. So this particular thing, how is it related to your lighting? How is it influence your lighting? How can it enhance your lighting? Or what does it really do with your lighting? And that is what we are looking at today in this very video tutorial. Thank you. Yes, first and foremost, what is ISO? What is ISO? I'm not going to talk about the International Standard Organization, which is the full meaning of it, but here I'm going to talk about what exactly is ISO in your camera. ISO is actually the part of your camera that enhances the light, available light in the presence of the camera. This is a part of your camera that enhances the available light. This is the part of the camera that enhances the available light in your camera. This ISO is in your camera to enhance whatever light that is positioned before your camera. If you have a low light in the presence of your camera, it is your ISO that can help you enhance it to make it visible for the camera to see. Yes, if you have a low light in front of your camera, it's your ISO that will help you enhance that low light so that you can see very well. But at most times, what is the relationship between your ISO and your lighting? If you must have a very good lighting, if you must have a very good picture before your camera, then your ISO and your lighting must relate. How will your ISO and your lighting relate? First, you must light very well. You must light properly. Number one thing is that you must light properly. What does it mean to light properly? Does it really mean using very heavy lights that makes you light properly? Or does it really mean using a very low light that makes you light properly? What it means to light properly is to do the necessary lighting system. What it means to light properly is not about the heaviness of the light you put in position, it's not about the lumens of the light you put in position, it's not about the illumination strength of the light you put in position, but it's all about the correct positioning, the correct rigging, the correct shaping of the light that you are using, of the sources of the light that you are using. Just for example, as you're seeing me now, there are quite a number of light that I position all around me that shapes me the way you are seeing me. That shapes me the way you are seeing me. So this is what it actually means to light correctly. Lighting correctly doesn't really mean I need to use 20,000 wattage of Fresnel or 20,000 wattage of HMI or whichever light. But lighting correctly means your correct positioning of your light, your correct rigging of your light, your correct shaping of your light. That is what lighting correctly really means. But how does it really influence, how does it really relate with your ISO? Take, for example, if you are working with lighting that doesn't have high wattage or doesn't have high illumination strength, you can still light your film correctly with those low wattage lights. But what you now need to do to help the look, to help your film look in your camera is the enhancement by your ISO. So when you light properly and your lighting system is low, what you can do to help the enhancement, to help your lighting system, what you can do to help your lighting structure is the use of your ISO, the use of your gain. For example, if you light properly and your camera is on the ISO of like 500, your camera is on the ISO of 500 and you light properly and the proper lighting you've done is with low lights, then you need to enhance this beauty of the lighting, that structure you have positioned, by increasing your ISO. Now, taking your ISO from 500 to a place like 1000, for example, really means that you are enhancing the lumens, you are enhancing the illumination power of those lighting sources that you position around. Take, for example, the lights that illuminate my back might be 5 watts, and the lights that give me a kicker on this side can be 2 watts. And the light that illuminates me, like my key light here, can be 10 watts. Now, I can help those lights to increase their wattage by the enhancement of ISO. If my ISO at the time when those lights are at the level they are is 500, if I push the ISO from 500 to 1000, it means I have doubled the illumination strength of those lighting I positioned. By that, you have enhanced the power, you have enhanced the recognition of those lighting points that you have positioned in front of your camera. So ISO in this very case enhances the illuminations that you position all around your subject. But on the other hand, you need to understand that ISO are meant to be used sparingly, because the more you can use the ISO to enhance the little light available on your set, is the same way this ISO can introduce grains into your picture if you are not very careful. So using ISO is with creative mind. To use ISO or to use gain or your ASA in some cameras needs you to be very careful. Obviously, when you increase your ISO, what you are simply doing to your picture is enhancement of every available light that is on your set. For example, if a particular light, maybe the backlight is enough, and maybe the backlight is enough, and then the key light is not enough, and then the fill light is also enough. If you use ISO in that situation, all you are doing is like you are increasing every available light. But in that case, it is only the key light that you need to increase. So in that case, you don't need to use an ISO. But if you are using an ISO in a situation whereby all the lights have been done properly, and then you now introduce the use of your ISO, then your lighting will be enhanced equally. But in a situation whereby you don't light properly, using your ISO in this case might not be very appropriate. But your ISO will be very appropriate in a situation whereby your lighting is proper before you shoot. So ISO is just like ambience. ISO is just like enhancement of ambience. It's just like an enhancement of ambience, because the moment you touch your ISO, the moment you increase your ISO, you are simply increasing every available light on your set. You need to use your ISO creatively, and you also need to use your ISO sparingly. If you will not experience grain in your picture, then you must light properly and then use your ISO creatively and sparingly. Thank you for watching our video tutorial this week. God bless you.